Welcome to my beautiful greenhouse. The only thing that is lush and green this time of year. We're picking greens from it almost every day. Spinach, lettuces, Asian greens, mash, rocket, some broccoli, and kale, and komatsuna, more kale. Some carrots that I will be picking early spring. This is endive. This is komatsuna, mash. Mibuna, a beautiful, tender, sweet and crisp Asian green. Some pak choi. There's another variety over there that is somewhat different. These are purple frill mustards. There's also lots of spinach and kales in between. My older son loves spinach with eggs, so I really like growing that a lot. One of my favorites, tatsoi. Some winter lettuces that will be making heads, but I usually don't grow heading lettuces because I like to pick them like Charles Dowding does by removing the outer leaves and leaving the heart intact so that the plant can grow further. Georgia collard greens also do very well throughout winter, and this is komatsuna. It makes really big leaves. Maybe I should go down to show you. Juicy and tender and sweet. Love it in mixed salads. I also have parsley growing, some mizuna, and this is red giant mustard. This is the other pak choi I was telling you about. It has more of a stem that is pronounced, but I don't actually like the flavor of this one. It tastes kind of watery. Plus it takes much more space and I don't like that. There's more romaine lettuce and mash. That is also called lamb's lettuce or corn salad. This is Claytonia, a very hardy green, winter green. Makes little hearts that my children like to eat. They pick them like this and just eat them. Very fresh. More spinach, parsley, and this is a gentilina lettuce. This is purple frills mustard. It's said that when leaves get bigger, they get more spicy. To tell you the truth, I pick them young, so I don't know if that is true or not, but I like them when they're at this stage. These are some self-sown Forellenschluss. That's German for speckled trout lettuces. It's a romaine, and it has a buttery texture that I really love, but it's also very resilient. More romaine crossed with canasta, which is a variety of lettuce that thrives in all conditions. Mibuna, again, just like at the beginning. More spinach and a couple of chards. Now, chard is a crop that may or may not overwinter here. It depends on the type of winter we have, so it's marginal. This is also tatsoi, and there's a very big difference. Now, I like to sow them close together. Don't space them as they are supposed to be spaced, because I like picking the outer leaves and I only leave the centers then to grow again. Plus I have many plants, and when you pick a leaf like this, it is a perfect bite size. Plus the stems are very, very crunchy and nicely texture. They're not rough or anything. So I like the small leaves to start the season off with. As the season progresses, as we get towards spring, I will be pulling out every other plant and only leave like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants in this space. The reason being that because when spring comes and the growth starts more, the plants will get much bigger and we'll get bigger harvests of bigger leaves. Now, these plants here, I have only 4 here, as you can see, are much larger because they have more space. This is an example of how things will look in the spring. This is actually I bought start from a nursery of some frilled kale, so I don't know what variety it is, but I bought it and I planted it here because a leaf or 2 is enough for one person to eat with eggs. The way I make that is by wilting the kale leaves in olive oil and a bit of garlic with some salt, and then I just pour the eggs over them and wait for those to cook, and it's a very simple and quick meal from the garden. This here is called Uchoisum. Now, it's an Asian green that is used for the flower stems in the spring. When it bolts, you pick the flower stems, which are very tender and sweet. But now, throughout winter, we eat the leaves. Now, I don't care for the stems. They don't taste good to me, so I remove them now. But in the spring, those flower stems, as I was saying, those are very tasty and sweet. This is broccoli. Now, I don't know if it will make anything as far as a head goes, but the leaves are also very tender and sweet during winter, so you can eat those as a substitute for spinach or any recipe that calls for greens. This is a mixed bed of lettuces and spinach, some purple euchoisum and some wild rocket. That's my cat. This is mash. Now, mash is a very popular vegetable here where we live. Every gardener only has mash during winter and the early spring. It's a buttery textured green that really tastes great. But in Slovenia, not many gardeners have what you call fall or winter gardens. The only thing they plant is mash because, well, that's the tradition here. And the only other thing that stays in the garden during the winter is garlic. So having a garden, well, a polytunnel, but a garden that looks like this is not something you will see here often. The newer gardens, younger gardeners, will be going towards this direction to having a winter garden, but the older traditional ones will dig over their soil over the winter and let it rest. That's what they think they're doing, but they don't know they're harming the soil by doing that. So we are really trying to make this garden no dig or no till by adding amendments only on top. Now, it's great to do that in autumn, but my autumn garden is always this full, so I leave it in the greenhouse. Outside in my main garden, I do mulch the beds, but I have not gotten to do that this year yet. That's my garden. As you can see, my neighbors are all very near, so I will not be showing that too much. So this is it for now. Thanks for your attention, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.